There's at least 2 pie plates and a piece of wood on top. It had plastic on top of that and a rock. Maybe there's a gun or something really cool that somebody put down there. Brand new adventure today. We're going to do a little bit of metal detecting and exploring on this farm. This is a relatively new permission for me. I've only was here one other time and hunted a small home site that's down along the river with the property owner who actually does a little metal detecting himself. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the day kind of moving quickly across the fields trying to locate another spot on this farm. Like I say, it's 200 acres. The house right there, I'm not sure if that's a Civil War era home or not, but I'm pretty sure there was one here during the mid-1800s. The barn is definitely pre-Civil War. We're going to take a look at that. I might do a separate video for that because, you know, we'll have to crawl around it and whatnot. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to start walking down through. We're going to explore around here. Can't go right up against that house because he has a tenant in there. And we'd have to talk to the tenant before we can go in the yard. You can see a goat down there by it. We'll look at him when we go by. But I'd have to talk to him before we can go in the yard down there. And I don't think he's home right now. Let's go ahead and grab the gear and head on down toward that house. And we'll just start down in that area. Before we get started though, let's go ahead and take a look at this weird thing. Not sure what this is all about. Again, that's the old house right there. Stream down below. But look at this. This is like an old cistern or something. Kind of got that little dome. When I say cistern, I mean like it's a water catchment thing. So it's got bricks. Got some water on it. Let's look inside. Oh, wow. Check it out, dudes. It's full of water. Maybe we'll drop a camera down in there after a while. Not today, but we can always come back. Not sure how it gets water in it because there's no building here, and typically there would be a building, you know, to catch the rainwater off the roof like that. You can see the gutters, and that would run down into a cistern. So I'm not sure how that gets water unless they pump it up from down below. I don't know where to start. I'm kind of walking down toward the barn here, little barn. I'm just fascinated by these rock outcroppings. This is limestone. Good cave making material. Isn't that kind of cool how it just sticks up everywhere like that? I'm just trying to glance on it, see if there's anything carved in any of them. Because, you know, kids would carve their names, and of course soldiers would. Anytime you see this kind of thing with a, you know, flat surface, of course it does erode pretty quickly, but I think if someone was serious, we'd still see their signature. I haven't even turned my metal detector on. I'm just so busy just looking around. I think what I'll do is I'm going to start by going over to that little flat area right there. That just looks really interesting for some reason. We'll hit that real quick and then we'll walk down through the farm checking it out. And I'll just keep moving through the farm. But I really should turn the metal detector on, otherwise I'll never find anything, will I? Just dug this right here. This is part of a pocket knife. No idea how old that is, but it's broken up. There's probably more pieces in there, I would think. I don't think we can get through these fences here very easily, so we may have to just go back out around the barn and get down below the house here and check those out. I see something weird. Check this out. This is a little shed with a chimney that is sitting on a post. I've never seen that before. That's really weird, isn't it? Probably had a wood stove in there. Also, I wanted to show you Bub's over there. He only has 3 feet, poor little devil. So I'm down near the stream, and I got a little squeaker there, and I went ahead and dug it because I figured it'd be junk. But I think it might be an actual button. I saw it. I see some green right here. I know I saw a button here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Look. Yeah, sweet. That is a little flat button. That's a shank on the back where the thread would go through. That's good. That's pre-Civil War for sure. Almost not round, but I guess it could just be crushed. Not too far away from the button. I just dug this. I'm going to be digging a lot of the bigger iron today too, because I'm looking for a site, or any site that we can find really. But this is a sickle bar mower tooth. There'd be like a bunch of these, dozens of these on a bar that would go slide back and forth, and it would cut grass and hay and stuff. You notice it's really chipped up bad. And they'd be cutting the grass here. The bar from the tractor would be going like up and over these rocks, and this thing would be going back and forth, banging off the rocks. That's why it's all chipped up like that. Normally it would be just more of just a triangular shape. All right, not a great find, but at least it's a find. Got a little squeaker here. That's why I went ahead and popped it out, and something interesting right there. I don't know if that's going to be like a coin, a small coin, or a button, or actually it looks fairly modern. It's a, not sure what that is. It's got a washer on it. That's a washer right there, that metal thing. I thought was a coin. And I don't know if that's going to be some type of, yeah, it's going to be some type of electrical thing right there, I guess. Yeah, no idea what it is. Had a pretty good sound though, but it's probably no older than me. That's a little stream is right there, and I'm kind of working my way around this flat, you know, below the house. I just dug this little shovel. That's what it is. It's like a little iron shovel. It's got to be a toy of some sort. Dug this little iron ring. And this would have probably gone on a harness of some sort. A lot of times, not a lot of times, but sometimes it'll be brass. But this is basically a strap junction. There'd be leather straps that would hook on here and here and here. Could be 4 of them, could be 3 of them. You can actually see where that's worn a little bit. It would be, you know, of course, the straps would pull against it like that. Let me show you. I'm using the Garrett AT Max today. 0 program. I have it on 0 discrimination. And maximum sensitivity. High squeaker right there. So I'm hoping it's going to be something good, or better than, say, a small shovel blade to a toy. It should be in that clump right there, maybe halfway down. Ooh, shouldn't spread that out quite so much. Okay, see what we got. Oh, sounds good. Nice high squeaker. That might be it. That's kind of discolored, this dirt. Is that it? Yeah, it's in here. What do you think it is? Oh, might be a button. Or something else. Ah, it just pops out of my... Oh, look at that. It's a little tiny coin, I think. I think it's a dime, but it's a clad dime. That's why we got such a nice squeaker on there. You can see it's that coppery color. That's the copper bleeding through. So when I say clad dime, I mean it's not pure silver or almost pure silver. It's a more modern one. Probably here from when they were working on this telephone pole or something. Hard to say, really. Well, at least we got a coin. I guess I can count that as a coin. Still on this little hill by the stream and getting ready to move off of it. But I got another little squeaker here. I hope that's not it, because that looks like aluminum. Is it? No. Okay, I think it's going to be something in here. Sounds kind of brassy. Not too big. There it is. What is it? That is, I think, the impression of something brassy. It's about the size of a shotgun shell. There it is, right there. It is a nickel. All right, what we have here is a nickel, what we call a nickel, a 5-cent piece. After I dug the nickel right there, and I got another really nice squeaker here. I thought we'd dig this together, although it's probably going to be a modern coin, but hopefully you can hear that okay. Keep in mind though, I found the old that old flat button right in there, so lost sight of this. So it could be an older coin. Pop it out. No. That is a big old piece of copper, but it's a fitting, probably off of a tractor. That's a compression fitting right there, I think. All right, so this is actually pretty awesome. I'm still on this little hillside that we were working, and I'd actually hoped to like really check out the farm today, but I've only checked out about less than 1/4 of an acre. I talked to the guy that lives in a house here. He came out and we chit-chatted, and he's going up to the house here right now. He's actually from Ireland. He's been here in the country, I guess, most of his life, but he's actually from Ireland. And he said, yeah, sure, go ahead and look around the house all you want. He was telling me that there's a photograph he saw that there's a Model T parked, I think he said it was a Model T, parked between those trees around 1919 or something like that, he said. It was with the date on the photograph. I don't know if that's the exact date, but I think that's what he said. I said, actually the year my father was born, so maybe I'm a little confused. But he said there was a picture of a Model T sitting right there, so we're gonna go up and look around the house. He did warn me about the animals. There's a bunch of sheep up here and some goats that might come up here. You can see that one behind the tree. Might kind of give us a little hassle. We said they're friendly. Let's go check it out. All right, so let's take a quick peek around the house. Let's just walk around and see what's here. You see the fenced in section right here. So we're gonna look all around through here. Porch, car was parked there, so hopefully there'll be some nice silver coins. Let's just look around on the surface, see if we can see anything of interest. Piece of plastic. Yeah, so a good nice limestone block foundation. Again, we don't know if this is pre-Civil War or not, but there could be a nice coin or two in here. A lot of sheep and goat manure everywhere. So we're gonna be covered with that before the day's out. Something going on right here. I wonder what this is all about. This is a little square. The owner would like to know about this. I'll talk to him about this. This probably, or could have been, the privy. I don't know why else that they would have there. You know, it could have been a building built up here, and of course it'd be deeper. Would have been a hole dug there. And the neat thing about it is the owner has a backhoe, and he said he'll dig anything out that I find. So that's something we're going to look at later. A little round thing of rocks, but that's a newer brick, so we're not going to worry too much about that. Let's see what this is all about over here. That's something there. That could have been like part of a clothesline. Maybe it was anchored. Clothesline was anchored, perhaps. So this might be an area to look to see if we can find some silver coins. There's a goat. They had to amputate the leg. Something happened to it, or the foot. Something happened to it. So the guy that lives here actually kind of takes care of him. That's his bud. You see the windows are 2 over 2, big rectangular windows, post-war for sure, but they could have been replaced. Civil War era windows are usually 6 panes over 6 panes. The glass, of course, was much smaller because it was harder to make with the old techniques. Now you can make glass most any size. And after about 1900 or so, 1880s or so, the glass started getting a lot bigger in the windows. All right, what do you say? Let's go ahead and turn the machine on. See what we can find. We'll start down here where they said the car was parked. There's a little piece of china right there. Yeah, I'm not sure how old that is, but I'll go ahead and throw it in the bag for the owner. Well, by the way, these are maple trees right here. They're fairly fast growing, but according to the guy that lives here, these are like 100 years old. And I want to show you this. I think this is probably the old driveway right here. You can see how it kind of goes down between the rocks and comes up to the house. That's my first target, and it is a pull tab. Now I probably won't be digging too many of these type of signals. I'm going to start concentrating more on the coin type because there's a ton of junk in the ground right here. Let me just show you real quick with the metal detector what I'm hearing. There's lots of iron in here, and I think what I'll do, unless we start finding like Civil War bullets, I'm not going to worry about the button signals and just concentrate on the more brassy sounding stuff or coin sounding stuff. But I'm definitely going to crank the discrimination back up since this has never been hunted before, so we don't really have to be that careful the first time we're here. Well, so far I'm just digging a lot of junk, but I do have a coin sound, a coin type signal right here, so I thought we'd dig this together. Possible that's going to be something other than a pull tab, which I found quite a few of. See it? I think it's in that. Yeah, all right, so it's in this pile right here. No, looks like a big piece of white metal cog gear. Oh, what is that? That is, I have no idea what this thing is. That's not actually what's making the signal, because I don't know if you noticed, but there's no sound. Oh, there it is. It's probably what was inside of it, which you can see it's really rough. So that was probably made to grab the inside of things so it wouldn't spin. Yeah, that was it. Big old piece of copper brassy stuff. Not sure what that is. Don't know if I really even care. Let's bag it and keep going. Nice high squeaker here, and I think that might be brass. I haven't pulled it out of the ground yet. I hope it's a. Ooh, I think it might be sleigh bells. That's kind of what I'm hoping it is, but ooh, that actually might be sheep poo, soft, whatever it is. I don't know how to get that deep though. There's nice. Oh, wait a second. What's that? There's nice something in there. Oh no. Those are probably just rocks. Let's see. Man, I'm not sure. It's definitely sheep poo. Yeah, there's something right in here. Gotta be a little careful. I don't know if there's any underground cables or anything here, so I have a feeling this is going to be something big, like big sheet of iron or something that's under that rock, unfortunately, I believe. Well, it's still really big and squeaky. It's under, there's a big rock right here. I was prying it up, so it's under there, but there's also a bunch of plastic under there. So I'm hoping it's not a pet burial. Guess we're gonna find out. I don't know what this is all about, really. I actually have dug pets up before, by accident, of course, but what you hear the collars, the tags and stuff. So if you ever have a pet that you want to bury, if you don't want them accidentally dug up by your detectors in the future, take off all the metal off of them. I'm not saying that's what this is, but I think whatever this is pretty big. It's really, oh, there it is right there. I think I saw it. Uh-oh. That's kind of weird. So there's some aluminum. That's probably a can or something. But you see, there's also wood down here. Like, so I don't guess you would bury a pet with a pie plate, a bunch of pie plates together. I'm gonna go ahead and dig this up. There's at least 2 pie plates and a piece of wood on top. It had plastic on top of that and a rock. Maybe there's a gun or something really cool that somebody put down there. When I say gun, what I'm saying is maybe maybe they put something in the plastic and put the pie plates over the top and the rock over the top, so that, and the wood over the top, so maybe it wouldn't get quite as wet. But I don't really think that's what it is, but we're going to dig it up just to make sure. Fairly certain at this point it's not a pet burial, but I'm kind of curious now. All right, so what do we have? Here's a piece of wood. That's a stake. That's a stake someone drew. Maybe this is an old garden, maybe. Oh, I bet that's what this is. All right, yep. I bet you that's what we have here. This is probably a garden area. Have the stake there. You stake your crops up with it. You use the plastic to keep the weeds down, like a mulch. And you use these aluminum pie plates. What you do is you hang them on string so they spin in the wind, and it scares little animals and other birds and stuff away, supposedly. I don't know if that actually works, but I think that's what we're dealing with here, is it just an old garden, vegetable garden. I didn't even notice, but it's actually a vegetable garden right here, and I think it kind of reinforces my thoughts that we were digging up an old vegetable garden over there toward that shed. If you look, you can see it's actually got the black plastic. That's some of the stuff we dug up. That's what they use for the, I won't say mulch, but it keeps the weeds from coming up. And you can see there's some more over there. You got the stakes, except they're using rebar. And you have, instead of a pie plate, you have a fake owl. And supposedly this helps scare away other, critters and other birds and stuff that might eat your fruit and vegetables. So I think what happened is they just moved the garden at some point from over there to over here. Actually kind of proud of myself for picking up on that. All right, so here's the deal. I gave up on detecting around the house. It was just really junky, and I'm not seeing any like old pottery or ceramics. Just that one little piece, and it's just really junky and messy. So what we're going to do is, this is an area right here. What we're going to do is we're going to try to get across the stream. I guess we'll have to go through the gate. Yeah, I can cross right there. We're going to work that hillside, that open hillside right there, and see if there could possibly have been a home over there or a little bit of a camp. And that way we can move away from this house next time we come out and start working our way out through the fields and up along the streams and stuff in the woods, because there's some really, really interesting stone walls and stuff further back on the property. But we're not going to get there today because, well, it's getting late already. It's a nice little stream. There's actually a big spring head on the next property over, but we can't go there. That's where all this water's coming from. Just not too far away, really, just a couple 100 yards. If you see any turtles, there's snapping turtles in here. They'll be up in the mud there. We'll never see them this time of year. Nice and clear. This is where the lane crosses, and of course that's a cattle guard, so the cows won't cross that. But he doesn't have any cows, he just has goats and sheep. I don't know if they'll cross that or not. All right, let's start detecting again. Let's hit this little corner and see if we can have any luck here. Got some white-tailed deer up through there. Yeah, so anyway, I crossed the creek. That's the house down there. We were just searching around. And over here, there's the remains of a house, I guess. Probably not too old. And a huge trash pile in a sinkhole. Wow. Yeah, Bruce was telling me about this. I had no idea there's this much junk here. That's the foundation. You can see cinder blocks. So that's not very old. But look at this. Look at all the trash. Wow. This is a big sinkhole. You can see it comes down all the way around. Any water that was flowing across here would go down into here. That's how you can tell this is a sinkhole. Just loaded with trash. Bruce is up here messing around. I guess I don't know if he's going to cover it up or haul it out or whatever. So he found a few bottles up here, a few Coke bottles. Now that's an older brick. So this could be just part of the trash. There are some older bricks there. Or there could have been an older house up in this area too. We don't know yet. Man, look at this place. Wowza. This looks like 19 Old Spice. I think it's Old Spice right there. I'd say this is probably what, 50s, 60s maybe, 1950s or 60s. Which to me doesn't seem like it's very long ago, but I guess if you do the math, it was actually a while ago. Huh. What a weird little spot. Not old enough for me to worry about. You guys know what this is? I bet you old timers do. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let you guess. Take a picture of that. Yep. Alrighty, well, if there was ever a cave in the bottom of this sinkhole, I guess we're going to find it unless we get Bruce to come up here and dig it out for us. Look at that big old thing. Must be a big old wine bottle or something. It's kind of cool, actually, but not that cool. Wow, here's a pie plate. That's what we dug up in the garden, something like that. It's a smaller one. What a shame, huh? The people lived in that house, they just threw the trash right out the back. It was a different time back then. This is, like I said, cinder blocks here. I guess Bruce is digging around in here a little bit. Here's some bricks. This is a very modern brick. I can tell it's very smooth. And of course, if it has holes like that, you know it's, mid 1900s or later. But this looks like an older brick, so this is probably what we're seeing over there in that trash dump. And they probably reused those from an older chimney that was that they knew about. Maybe a house burned down or something. But those are old. Those are old bricks, and they were probably free. So they just picked them off of some chimney stack somewhere out in the field or out in the woods. So I really don't think we're going to find an old house up here. All right, we'll search up here on this hill a little bit. I want to get away from this mess. I'm not even going to try to detect here. And who knows, maybe there'll be a nice little Civil War camp. I don't even know what I did with my metal detector. It's way over there. A nice Civil War camp up in here because there's actually a little road just to the other side of this hill. It's actually a lane now. But I think it was an old road that went down to a river. I see some wire up there. We'll look at that too, like rolls of fence wire. It's probably right on the property line now. All right, let's get back at it. So I'm just kind of sitting here over the stream looking at the house. And I'm thinking this spring, even though this is January, the spring is probably getting really close because I can smell skunk. And I've been smelling it on and off the whole time I've been here. And that's one thing about spring in this area is that the skunks come out. I don't know if they're mating or mating and fighting or whatever they're doing, but you smell a lot of the odor of the skunks with this sprayed. And it's pretty strong right here. So there's something going on here not too long ago. Maybe they were making baby skunks. Okay, we're back down to the barn. We'll do an exploration of that, but I want to wait until I have a flashlight, a good flashlight on me, so I can look in all the nooks and crannies, but we'll do that eventually. And there's the house that we didn't find a whole lot around. This is probably one old lane. I don't know if that's the main one or if that was always the main one, but you see it's definitely been driven in a bunch. Still here right by the barn. I just turned the camera off and happened to look down. There's a nice old hand-forged square nail right there. That was just laying right here. That's where I picked it up. I see some more bits and pieces. Yeah, that's another nice old square nail. That's a rose head, I believe. That might just be flat. A rose head is a hand-forged nail that has like a little pyramid on the top where how they made it. And there's another square nail there. So let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and look around here just a little bit. I'll bring these for the owner in case he wants them. And we'll just look around here a little bit more because there's obviously something going on. And then we'll work our way up through there like I was telling you, around the other side of the barn. Right in there is where I picked up all the square nails. And I have a really nice high squeaker right here beside this rock. I thought we'd try to pull this thing out together. I mean, it sounds like it could be a large cent. It just has that sound to it. Obviously, it's not out of the ground yet, but... yeah, it's good. That's good. It's about the right size, I think. You see it? I shouldn't dig with my fingers, but I am. There it is. Is it? I see some copper or brass, and it could be a sleigh bell. I don't think it's going to be a coin or doorknob. What do you think? I think it's a doorknob. Hope it's a sleigh bell, because my wife likes sleigh bells. Always a good day if I can get a sleigh bell. I think it's a doorknob. All right. Let's see. Come back this way just a little bit. Loosen the ground up underneath it so I can get it with my fingers. All right. That should be loose enough. All right. What is it? What is it? It is a doorknob. Boy, called that one, didn't I? Now, the thing is, I think that's a pretty old one, and I think that's going to predate that house. I think it's older than that house. That's an older style, I do believe. Oh, that's a nice find right there. And I found that old flat button right over in there, not too far. So maybe the original house was down in this area. And when they wanted to build a bigger one, they went up there. I wouldn't doubt that because it's old square cut nails. They weren't even cut. They were hand forged nails there. And that's a nice old piece for sure. I'll bebop around here just a few minutes and see if we can narrow it down to it being a house site or not. And then we'll move over to the other side of the barn. Dug the doorknob, and there's a lot of big pieces of iron right in here. So I'm going to dig up a few of them, and this is the first one. This is a hand forge. I guess it's part of like a hinge. I think it's broken off. That would have been driven in wood, and it's probably like a gate hinge or something like that. But that's a really heavy piece right there, and it's definitely hand forged. You can see how it was joined right there. Huh, very interesting. I'll dig more iron like this if I hear it until we figure out what's going on here. That's where I dug a big piece of iron. I have a nice squeaker right here that could be a little button or a coin. Have to sneeze first. There we go. All right, right in here. Right there. That sounds really nice and squeaky. You can hear there's lots of iron in there too, so. All right, it should be right there. I'm just going to hold you and we'll try to come back about 3 or 4 inches from it. Get up underneath it. It's on top. I can hear it hitting this rock right here, so it's going to be right. Should be right at the bottom of my blade, more or less. All right. You see any copper yet? I don't know. It's right in here, whatever it is. I can feel something in my hand. That's not natural. It's a rock, so I guess it was natural. All right, it's right in here. Gonna break it apart. See if we can. Should be able to stare. That's probably it right there. What is it? That is a piece of. That's a reed out of a musical instrument of some sort. Obviously, way too big for a harmonica. So that could be like a squeeze box or some other doodad. So I don't know how old that is, but it could be Civil War era. Huh. Let's check the hole, see if there's more of it in there. No, I don't hear any more, but I wouldn't doubt that there's more of these down here because they didn't just have like a piece of they would have thrown away the whole thing. I mean, this could be iron, I don't know. It's kind of deep. Looking for pieces of brick and pottery and stuff like that too. Man, it's still in the hole. All right, I see it. I think it's iron, big piece of iron. I want to see if it's old iron or new iron. That, my friend, I don't know. I think it's old. Yeah, that's definitely hand forged. That's a hand forged washer. Maybe some type of big square washer or something slightly beveled right here. You see how crudely made it is. Something about the soil kind of is making me think there might have been something here. I'm seeing some, not really seeing any charcoal yet, but I don't know, it just looks a little bit darker and mottled. So this might have been a dump or getting close to the actual foundation to a house. I just found this, and this is actually a drive link off of a chain. There'd be a bunch of these hooked together, and they use these things on farm machinery like manure spreaders and things, anything that would have to roll along. I'm very familiar with these being on manure spreaders, but there's probably other equipment that they were used on as well. Not that old. I mean, this could be turn of this, 1900s, but it's not too much older than that, I wouldn't think. This is a pretty hard scrabble place right here, isn't it? Yeah, so we're on the other side of the bar. I'm not really getting a whole lot of good signals in here. What we're going to do is we're going to work our way down here and just get in that little opening over there. And after that, we're going to call it a day. We're definitely going to come back, but we're going to concentrate out in the fields and the woods next time. I mean, there might be something here, but I just don't have high hopes for it. Do you?
She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is or what it might be. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere in